All righty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. It is time for Pregame Party. It's good to see you guys. Week 6. Don't pay any attention to the thumbnail. Apparently, I didn't upload the new one, but it's the same thumbnail every week. Noise. Hey, man, I was busy yesterday. I told you guys what I was doing. But anyway, good to see you guys. Of course, we've got the Highlander. How are you doing, man? Did you get any sleep after the game last night?
Very little. Moving on after the cardiac thing, the Spencer Rattler era begins.
Yes, it does in New Orleans. He's been hoping for that, and here we go, as the Joker likes to say. Yes. Let's see. We also got Knock. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Hello there.
It's good to see you, man. What's new and exciting?
Oh, not too much. Just nearing the end of my time off of work. Yeah. I got one more day left tomorrow.
Wow, that is depressing, isn't it?
Yep. So I'll be back. I'll be back on Tuesday. Discovered something kind of cool on Friday. The settings in StreamYard has a reduce mic background noise option on there. So
isn't that nice?
Might not see any, or might not hear any more air conditioning.
There you go. That'll work. It's good to see you, Knock, man. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in that Chargers Broncos game today. That should be one of the. It's going to be one of the lower scoring games, I think. But
probably
looking forward to seeing how that pans out. John, it's good to be the king. How are you? Didn't think you were going to make it today.
Yeah, plans change. I did go see Gary down in Springfield yesterday.
Yeah,
Anima's here in the States.
Yeah, I saw. I've been seeing her. I've been ducking my head on some of the shows.
So I went down, and Allie and I went down and had lunch with them.
Oh, that's cool. How long is she here for?
She's just here till Wednesday.
Till Wednesday. Okay, so I'll probably see her tomorrow morning on the Military Monday show then.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool, man. That's cool. I wish I'd have known she was coming. Maybe I'd have drove up. You know what I mean? But
she'll be back.
It's the first time she's come to the States to see him, though, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure she's been to the States before, but where is she from? Just to fill everybody in. I know it's some Eastern Bloc
Austria.
Country. I thought it was an Eastern Bloc country. She's from.
No. Well, no, she's from Austria. She lived in Croatia for a while.
That's what Croatia. I thought. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But she's from Austria.
She's from Austria. Okay. Yep. But anyway. It's good to see her here in the States hanging out with Gary. The first one in today was Keely Chow. Of course, like I said, with this new studio setup, it dumps all the chats once we go live. So I can't show you it. But we've got Gridiron Masters here. If you've never seen Gridiron Masters, he plays old football games. I mean, like Genesis era and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
Ball.
Yeah, he plays the older games, man. It's a lot of fun to watch him. He's very knowledgeable about football. Great guy. Good to see you there, Gridiron. So let's get started. I know you guys are chomping at the bit to talk about college football. I could give two shits about it this week for obvious reasons. But
sour grapes, bro.
Yes, sour grapes. Damn it. We didn't even show up. It's horrible. But anyway, Knock, get us started. What's going on in college football?
Yeah, just start off during the week. We're in the middle of our every day is football, which is awesome, even on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So, start out with a little Liberty. Liberty's got the weakest schedule known to man, but they're undefeated and they have a chance for the group of five. Probably won't get any votes because of how destroyed they got last year at Oregon versus Oregon in that bowl. So
that's
but
cold.
They're still going to try.
That's cold, Gridiron Masters. That's cold. That's cold, bro. He says Texas had an active bye week. I'm sorry, Knock, but go ahead.
And then Thursday night, I was curious about this one. This was going on while the Seahawks were getting beaten again. Coastal Carolina at JMU.
Again.
I can't. Hey, we talked about it last week with the Giants, and they, at home against the Giants, and then okay, so I had to. Coastal Carolina and James Madison were both 4-1 going into this game. They're both, looking at that group of five spot as well. James Madison beat up Coastal Carolina, so that was a big game for JMU. Looking at Utah, Cam Rising is just not it. I think they need to give up on that guy.
The Bulldogs, they won.
What?
The Bulldogs, LA Tech.
LA Tech won. Yeah, that quarterback in Utah, they would be better served just to move on from that guy.
I think this is their second win of the year. I don't mention teams below 500.
Come on, bro.
Sorry, you'll make it up for it later on in the session because there's two teams I know you like.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, Utah is probably going to fall out of the rankings. They lose to Arizona State. UNLV is still trying. In 2 weeks they play Boise State. Boise State's off next week, and that'll be probably for the Mountain West and the group of five spot. Pretty much in that game. So that's going to be a big game in 2 weeks. Just to start out, it starts the top 25 games. So we got one of the big ones, Texas and Oklahoma. Texas, it was a little bit of a slow start for them, and they do that a lot. They start really slow, and then they just keep at it and keep grinding away those scores. And don't you go away, Joe. You come back.
I'm hiding. Damn it.
But I don't know. I felt like a little early. I was like, I don't know, man. Should they just bring Manning back in? I don't know.
Their starter. I mean, he looked rusty. He missed some open guys down.
And they got Georgia next week, so I mean,
you're talking about
that should be a high-scoring game because Georgia's not stopping anybody. So it should be a high-scoring game.
Texas is, but anyways, the biggest game of the day was the Ohio State and Oregon. This was a crazy game. I watched the whole thing. It was a lot of back and forth, and it got crazy there at the end.
The way it ended, man, that kid's got to feel bad. He's got to feel bad.
Yeah, for sure. And what was messed up was that I heard somewhere that I saw the video where they're like maybe they did the 12-man on purpose so that they would shoot clock off with 11 seconds left in the game, and Oregon did 12-man. I don't know if that's true or not. They'll never admit to it. But that did kill some clock, and so
didn't the Ohio State guy slide at the end of it, thinking he was going to stop the clock, and it didn't?
Well, it was a first down, so it would have, but there was not enough time. It didn't matter. It would have stopped the clock, and they could have used their last time out. It took too long. He tried to throw it first, and then he went for the run.
Yeah.
So he took like 2 or 3 seconds to look for a pass, and then ran for a first, and then by that time when he slid, the time was already over. So it didn't matter. But I'm kind of, again, I'm a Boise State fan, so of course I'm gonna be biased. But that 3-point loss to Oregon is looking better and better for them.
Yeah, I hear you.
When it comes to the college playoffs and they're definitely the favorites right now, the group of five. And the fact that they can hang with Oregon, the only reason they lost that game was because of special teams. Really, they couldn't stop them on special teams. Ashton Jeanty went off on Oregon, in that game too. He's averaging 200 yards a game. It's ridiculous.
You go.
Okay, the next one up. Penn State. This is a really good
Nittany
game,
Lions. Yes, way to go, nephew.
Yep. Nittany Lions came back in this one against USC. USC, it's unfortunate for them. They just don't have that offense to close out a game. It seems like It's not a bad offense necessarily, but it's just not a great one like they had last year. The defense, I think, is pretty decent, especially compared to last year. I mean, they're not just giving up anything like they were last year. They were just giving up bombs all the time last year. It was very bad. But unfortunately, they're playing a really really good teams, so they keep.
Yeah, it took Penn State a minute to get the engine started out there, but that ended up being a really good game. USC Trojans, they've got a funk now. They've find ways to lose games, missed opportunities, and yeah, that's what they're running into. So hey, it's good for college football when USC is good, but I love seeing them lose.
I'm always looking for upsets, and of course, last week we mentioned it. I didn't watch any of it, and there was a gazillion upsets, and this week there was nothing. It was a shame. Um, Mississippi State actually made, and you mentioned it
Yeah,
before,
they gave
where
Georgia
can't
all
stop
they could
anybody.
handle.
The 41 to 31 against Georgia. Georgia's defense is just not it right now, so it's going to be interesting the rest of the way. Especially they have Texas next week, so that should be the game of the week next week.
Yep.
And then another game of the week will be Alabama Tennessee next week. So Alabama got taken to the limit, but South Carolina had all the chances in the world. This is the Auburn game of last year, basically. I mean, it's like they not only did they not take the ball in at the end and go up by a touchdown or more than a field goal or whatever. They also got the onside kick. They actually got an onside kick and had a chance to go up, and they missed a field goal, went for the onside, and then I can't remember what it was, but they went for an onside kick after they scored and caught up, and then they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything. Onside kick, the lowest of probability plays you could do, and they get it, and still can pull up the win. So it's ugh.
Yeah, that game was theirs, and the quarterback just missed some crucial throws. Guys were open, and he just missed them. So Alabama got away with one there. Yeah, they don't. That's definitely not a Saban-looking Alabama team. They can be had. And then that next one you got going on, Florida and Tennessee. Florida gave Tennessee all they could handle. So
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Tennessee. Their offense has just like disappeared.
their quarterback is up and down. There's no consistency there. So yeah, if you don't have consistency at the quarterback position, teams are going to be in it with you.
It's good to see you, Keely Chow. We let everybody know you were in here first today. Good to see you.
Yeah, yeah. So Gators, yeah, they tried, but Tennessee in overtime, they got them with the touchdown.
Speaking of overtime,
yeah. This was a fun game to watch for sure. Ole Miss and LSU, basically the same team.
It's a big rivalry game. It's a throw out the records kind of game. It always is. But there's something about Death Valley on Saturday night, man. Just crazy shit happens. And LSU battled that whole game. They were behind that whole game. And Nussmeier put it together right the last two drives to win the game. But it was a great game. Defenses showed up on both sides of that ball. I think people were thinking it was going to be a big high scoring game, but the defenses really showed out. It was a great game.
Your secondary's coming around, Dan. They didn't look good at the beginning of the season, and they're starting to look better now.
Well, it's just like a lot of these big programs where you're lacking, like Alabama in the secondary, Georgia in the secondary. These are some young cats back there, and that's where you get exposed. If you can't get pressure on the quarterback and you leave these secondaries exposed, they're going to give it up. But to the credit on both Ole Miss and LSU, both teams came to play defense, and it was a really good game. It really was.
All right.
Don't do that, buddy. We'll get popped. They'll shut us down. Yeah, it was a great game. I saw the end of it after the Mudbugs game. I couldn't believe it was still on. They must have thrown a lot of passes in that game. And wow.
Yeah, Nussmeier alone threw almost 60 times. I mean, he was just, so.
I like Nussmeier. He's my kind of guy. He doesn't run very often. I remember we saw the play where he ran for 14 yards. I said, Rhonda, that guy never runs. And right up on the screen, it said longest run of his career.
Yeah, he was definitely looking to throw down the field, but that was a good game. It really was. Clemson, man, they're rolling.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, you go.
I assume you wanted to read it off.
No. You're doing the reading. He's just handing it off to you, pal.
No, I'm talking about Keely Chow.
Oh, let's see. There are only 2 rivalry games that matter in the SEC. They are the third Saturday in October and the Iron Bowl.
Man, nobody cares about Auburn.
I don't know. The Razorbacks and the LSU Tigers would probably have something to say about that. The
Yeah, I think
pretty.
I think they're looking to.
every year.
I think they're looking
and their
to,
new rivalry.
Yeah, right?
I think they're looking to disband the Warhawks / Tigers / whatever they decide they're going to be there in Auburn. So that's not much of a rivalry anymore.
Okay, so keep going, buddy boy.
Clemson's still rolling. They're looking like one of the ones that will probably be playing if Miami keeps going. Miami was off this week. It might be they don't play each other this season, so it might be a clash in the ACC for Clemson and Miami.
Yeah, that could be the championship game, huh?
Although Pittsburgh might have something to say about that though, because they're a little dark
Pittsburgh's
horse
playing
there.
good too. Yep.
Notre Dame, man, and I tell you what, this is what I can't wait for. I'm gonna go into Notre Dame real quick. We got Navy and we got Army on their schedule. Army is destroying teams right now. Navy is destroying teams right now. I don't know if they'll be able to beat Notre Dame, but if there was ever a year where they had a chance, it's this year.
Yeah.
And Navy and Army could. What's crazy is Navy and Army can both go to the AAC championship and then play the next week
against each other again in the traditional game.
It's crazy. It's insane. Army, I think, is now bowl eligible, which is insane. They got 6 wins. Navy was off this week, so it's crazy. What a great time.
Yep.
Let's see here. Iowa State still undefeated in the Big 12. They got a good win. This is going to West Virginia, so this was actually a really good win for them. BYU is still undefeated against Arizona. Arizona's a pretty good team. It's just their quarterback's just kind of not doing so well this year. Making more mistakes than he usually does.
Yeah, that score
Boise
right there
State
surprised me the way BYU handled up on Arizona, because Arizona had been playing pretty well, but man, they got wore out.
Yeah, Arizona's been a little bit of disappointment, but the Big 12 is so wide open right now. It's ridiculous. Boise State over Hawaii, kind of a really close game. They scored most of their points. Boise did in the fourth quarter. So it was a pretty close game.
The Warriors,
for the most part. The Warriors defense was pretty decent. But Boise State has a week off, and then they play UNLV. So then we got Kansas State and Colorado. This is a pretty decent game. I watched a good majority of it. Colorado just couldn't do anything on their last drive to come back. So if Colorado won, they probably would have been ranked next week, but instead they lost another 4-2.
I got a question for you guys that watch college football a lot more than me. Do you think that Deion's kid's going to play at the NFL level, or do you think?
He's top 5 pick.
Really?
Okay. He has. Let me put it to you this way: he has Caleb Williams' level of desire for NFL teams.
Really?
Wow. He's almost there. I don't know if he's quite as high as Caleb, but he's like up there.
I'm just curious.
So,
I didn't know he was going to be one of those guys because a lot of quarterbacks will switch over to wide receiver when they get to the next level.
He's not one of them. That's not going to happen with him.
I've never seen him play, but you hear a lot about him. So
no, his issue is that he doesn't have an offensive line. That's unfortunate. So if he goes to any team, he would be benefited by going to a team like the Colts. I know they're not going to take him because they got Richardson, but like if they had a good O-line, then he would do well.
Okay.
Mizzou beats up UMass. Not much there. Pittsburgh gritted out a win against Cal, 17-15. This was a close one.
That was a competitive game. That was a very physical game. It was a good game to watch. Yeah.
This is your kind of game, Joe, for sure.
That sounds like my kind of game. 17-15. Love it, dude.
So Pittsburgh still undefeated. Illinois. This was a fun game to watch too. Illinois and Purdue, 50-49 in OT. Purdue goes for the 2-point conversion for the win rather than tying it up and going into more overtime. Unfortunately, they didn't actually throw the ball and just let himself get sacked. I will never understand that. But
you at least put it up, right? I mean,
just do something. I don't know. I will never understand throwing it out of bounds. You don't have any more chances. Like, what are you doing? Do something. But Iowa scores 40 points. 40 points, Iowa. They fired their offensive coordinator
no
last year.
offense team scores 40 points.
They scored, and Washington's not a bad team.
Washington is not a bad team. That's a big win.
That's a good win for Iowa.
Yep.
It's probably not going to get them ranked, but it's a decent win there. Rutgers continuing their slide, get destroyed by Wisconsin. They were 3-0, and now they've lost 2 in a row. So Rutgers is gone from being important. Georgia Tech gets a good win against North Carolina. This is actually a back and forth game right here. But Georgia Tech, I think it was like a couple minutes to go, if that, scored on like a 60-yard run.
Wow.
To go ahead. And that's all that they needed. North Carolina couldn't catch up.
Before we get too far removed from it, Gridiron Master says Illinois' coach uses fullbacks. I like that. You know what? That position is dying on a lot of levels of football, and I like it too, buddy. You look at the teams that are really doing something in the NFL, all of them got fullbacks that play. Yeah. Like it a lot. Go ahead, buddy.
Wanted to mention this. Toledo was one of those kind of maybe group of 5 guys, but they lost to Buffalo. The Army is still rolling 44-10 over
the Black Knights.
Trent Dilfer's UAB team. So that was a fun game to watch. I watched that one all the way through. They just can't be stopped, and they threw it a little bit too. That's the crazy.
My only loss in our dynasty thing with the Army team is to UAB. It was the opening game. I lost to them. Yeah.
This is another one I kept an eye on for ACC. Virginia was doing well, but unfortunately they couldn't pull it out over Louisville.
Come on, Cavaliers!
I was kind of pulling for Virginia, but oh well. This was actually a decent game too. Cincinnati, UCF, two relatively newcomers to the Big 12 going at it. Cincinnati pulled it out 19-13 over UCF. That was pretty good. Next game, one of the competitors in the Mountain West Conference for Boise is San Jose State, but Colorado State pulled out the win on that one, 31-24. So that's gonna, San Jose was another one of those teams that was a group of 5 hopeful, and that put a big dagger into that one.
Big time, yeah. Because you can't, before in the previous setup, when it was just ranked or we had 4 teams in the playoff. One-loss teams, that one loss was huge, right?
Yeah.
And that's where the group of 5 is right now. If you lose a game and there's an undefeated team, they're probably going to get it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at. I have my list around here somewhere, but you're looking at the reason why Boise does have the one loss to Oregon, and the reason they're so high is because it is Oregon, right? It's not just a one loss to a group of 5 team; it's to a Power 4 team who is ranked number 2 right now. Yep. Or will be ranked number 2 today. And then you got like Army, you got Navy. They're both undefeated. They don't have the best, but if they beat Notre Dame,
that's huge. Yes,
you got to make that conversation. Do they get it over Boise State, over one loss Boise State? If they go undefeated and they win the AAC, that's a crazy conversation. I kind of hope it happens. Not that I want to see Boise State lose a spot, but it
Hey, look, anytime an academy does well, people root for them, man. I mean, we are patriotic.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Especially because right now it doesn't look like they can be stopped right now, which is great. But they are playing, low B teams, so that's why I can't wait for the Notre Dame game for each of them. That'll literally be the test.
Yeah.
Right? If either one of them can beat Notre Dame because of how highly ranked Notre Dame is, that would be a huge boost.
Yeah.
Okay, just take a look and see if there's any other ones. Let's see. Memphis is still in the running. Memphis takes care of USF, 21-3. Here you go. You got Southern Miss and UL Monroe. Monroe still
keep rolling. They're playing some good football.
They're still in the running for the group of 5. They've only got one loss.
You can just go right past that next one and just keep on going to Washington State.
Oh, where Air Force got destroyed by New Mexico? Yeah, that was so many points they gave up. Yeah, that was crazy.
Oh, man.
Air Force is so bad this year. God dog.
They are the weaker
they're
of the 3
perennially
for sure.
one of the better academies.
Yes.
Well, they went 8-0 last year before they just fell off completely. Ever since they went 8-0 last year, they've completely fell off and just been awful.
They've been figured out.
For whatever reason. Washington State, I don't really think they have a chance to do anything against Fresno, because their Pac-12 doesn't really have any leg to stand on this year. I don't think
There's only two
either of those
teams in the
two-
Pac-12
yeah.
right now, aren't there? I mean,
Yep. So they have to win by at large, and that's just
Right.
not going to happen with their schedule.
So should they be renamed the Tupac division?
the Tupac. Yes.
No, they just got 5 other teams to join them, so they'll be fine. They just need one
That's
more.
right. They did. We forgot. I forgot about that. They did get some other
Yep,
teams.
they just need
7.
one more football team to become a complete conference. I don't know if they'll get their Power 5 status back,
No.
but they got like Boise State, Fresno, Utah State, a couple other teams. I can't think of the top of my head. Okay, just let's see here. Oh, here you go. App State and Louisiana. Louisiana's still rolling.
Still rolling, man.
Raging
Yeah,
Cajuns,
34 to
baby.
24. There you
Vanderbilt
go.
goes into
two.
Kentucky to get that
Yeah,
win. That's
this
a
is a
big
good one. A lot of people were watching this one because of last week and because both of these teams had big upsets, right? The week before.
Mhm. Yeah.
Kentucky had theirs against Ole Miss, I believe it was.
Mhm.
So this was hey, can you sustain your success kind of game?
Look, like the Armed Forces Academy, Vanderbilt is running that option, man. And if you're not disciplined and you don't see that offense, you can get embarrassed really quick. Yeah.
I tell you what, Dan. What do you think? How long, if they keep this winning streak going, Vanderbilt? How long do you think that coach stays there before he gets a job offer somewhere else?
Well, it's the offense that they're running. It's unique. I mean, I think he'll probably be with Vanderbilt, say 3 years. If they have above 500 ball in Vanderbilt for 3 years, somebody will scoop him up for sure.
Yep. Okay. Go ahead, buddy. Is this next
All right,
week?
just a quick look at next week. Just trying to see if there's anything pointed out. Let's see. Oklahoma State, BYU might be a decent game on Friday night.
The Golden Boot is always a big game, man. Competitive.
Miami comes back from their bye against Louisville. That might be a decent ACC game. Virginia and Clemson might be a decent ACC game as well. Auburn, Missouri. I didn't really talk about Missouri because they played a crummy team, but they're still trying to catch back up.
They bounce back, right? Okay.
Yeah. So they got Auburn. So that might be interesting. Let's see. Nebraska and Indiana might be actually a really good game too.
That should be a good game, right?
Go
Nebraska
Indiana.
and Indiana. Yeah.
Go Indiana.
Let's see. Arizona State and Cincinnati might be decent. The Raging Cajuns versus Coastal Carolina. That might be a good game for the smaller school. Army looks to keep rolling against East Carolina. East Carolina's not that great a team, so Army should continue their win streak, which I believe Army has the longest win streak in the regular season right now. It's interesting.
Wow. Cool.
Let's see. Oklahoma will probably be unranked, most likely, and then we'll go against unranked South Carolina.
Who
that might
showed
be a
up
decent
this
game,
week?
though.
So yeah.
One of the games of the week: Alabama and Tennessee. So one of them is going to drop out of the top 5.
That's going to be the big game in the SEC, isn't it? Yeah.
Notre Dame and Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech has a pretty good season going. I think they're going to be. I think they're 5-2 now.
Didn't they upset somebody in the last couple of weeks? Who was it?
No, they upset FSU in the first week.
Oh, okay.
And then FSU fell off, so it's not really an upset anymore.
Gotcha.
Michigan comes back from their bye is Illinois, so that might be a big game right there. Let's see. Just looking for any.
Navy's got Charlotte.
Navy.
They're going to keep rolling.
So they'll keep rolling there. USC and Maryland might be an okay game. Colorado, Arizona might be a decent game. Baylor, Texas Tech. Texas Tech is a little bit of a dark horse right now in the Big 12.
That's an in-state rivalry, and Texas Tech is always tough, man. They are always a tough out.
Yeah, LSU and Arkansas might be. I think Arkansas.
The Golden Boot. That's the one we were talking about. Yes, I've always said they should that the Independence Bowl committee here in town should lobby them to play a game like the Red River rivalry right here in Independence Stadium and play that game there, because we're about halfway between where the Razorbacks play and Baton Rouge. It's about the same distance.
What a boost for the economy that would be.
It would be, man. I'd love to see them do something like that. That would be badass.
But if you could get Shreveport to stop shooting people wholesale, they may do that. But
hey, man, they didn't shoot. There was no shootings during 50 Cent's 3-day weekend event.
I'm sure they've made up for it since then, though.
Yeah, they've collectively they've made up the numbers, no doubt. Yeah. Go ahead, man. We're talking local stuff.
No worries.
Go ahead.
Probably the biggest game of the week is Georgia at Texas.
Yeah.
So that's going to be
That's
that's
gonna be
the big
fun.
one right there.
Yeah.
That's the big one.
All eyes are on Texas this week. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's crazy because if they go down, Oregon only has Purdue this next week. So if Texas go down, that leaves Oregon in the driving spot for that number one, which is kind of
The
interesting.
Duck.
Yeah, the Ducks.
Ducks.
So yeah, hopefully this is a nice shootout. So let's get to 50. Let's do it. UCF at Iowa State. Iowa State is probably might crack the top 10 this week. In the rankings that come out this afternoon. So they're probably the best team in the Big 12 right now. Well,
interesting. I thought one of the Kansas teams or TCU would take over that conference, but apparently
TCU has just been nothing. But Kansas State's still rolling. They got a big win over Colorado, so they're still rolling too. So Big 12 is so wide open, it's crazy.
Well, it's because the big dogs are gone. That's why. I mean, yeah. For sure.
So and then you get Kansas State at West Virginia, which could be a decent game. Iowa, Michigan State, North Texas, and Memphis. Probably the elimination for the Group of 5 spot in this game.
Right.
Kentucky and Florida. If you're an SEC fan, I guess you got to watch this one. I'm really interested in SMU this season for the ACC. So at Stanford, so I'm gonna at least keep an eye on this game. Then TCU at Utah.
TCU, the Horned Frogs at Utah, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's what I got for college this week. No clips or anything like that, and I didn't see anything crazy special.
All right. Well, thank you for that report, brother. So the way things are shaking out, is anybody ready to make a prediction as to who's going to be the big dog? I know it's going to be hard to do in college football this year because this is the first year of the 12-team playoff. So it's really going to be interesting to see who's going to end up in that playoff, man, because, as we've seen this year, anybody can get upset. Anybody can. So,
sure.
Yeah, just depends on how you
to date. I mean, I like what Penn State is doing to go out to USC and to gut out a win. That's the game that Penn State usually loses. They come out highly ranked. They riddle off 5-6 in a row, and then they lose to a power program. Yeah. And they found a way to gut out a win yesterday. I think that's big. I like Penn State. I like where they're at right now.
I'm going to stick with Oregon. I've developed a soft spot for Oregon for sure. It's not because I always play them in college football and I always play their offense in college football, but they got a good win against arguably one of the best teams in the league. I'll take that over Penn State over USC any day. So I think Oregon. I think they don't play each other this regular season. So at this point, if both win out, they'll be in the Big Ten championship. And I think Oregon. I don't think Penn State has enough to get over that hump.
Yeah,
that top 2 team hump. They couldn't over Ohio State and Michigan. Michigan's fallen off, but Oregon's here now. So and once again, Ohio State can't beat the best team in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
So Ryan Day is still not able to get the big games. So
well, all right, boys and girls, we're gonna move on to the NFL. This college, we may have to do a college show because this segment is getting longer and longer every week.
Sorry, buddy. It's because I learned so much more about everything else too. So
I was about to when you were talking about the academies playing Notre Dame. I had to point out to Knock. You got to remember something. He loves this because he's just now learning about it, and he didn't know that Notre Dame, because they like to play pushovers, keep the academies on their schedule every year. He didn't know that. He thought that this was something new, but yeah, they play every academy. Notre Dame. That's why they've always got a winning schedule every year.
Notre Dame usually plays Army, Navy. They rarely do they play Air Force.
Yeah, they rarely play Air Force. Yeah,
and Air Force is the one academy that's been in a conference for the longest time. They've been in the Mountain West for the longest time.
Mm-hmm. All right, boys and girls, let's move on to the NFL. We got a couple of games that me and my brother do not want to talk about that happened since we saw you last. First of all, last Monday night, it was the Saints and the Chiefs. It's good to be the king, huh? There,
the Derek Carr Chiefs auxiliary quarterback. Yeah, played really well.
Once again, we wrecked
by default.
Once again, we wrecked. This time it was a Saints car.
I wrecked the Saints car. Well, this is the thing, though. You may have given my brother a glimmer of hope because you did knock David Carr out of the game. I'm not sure. Was it an oblique or a rib injury?
Yeah,
It doesn't matter, whatever it is. The Saints defense deserves better than what they get at the quarterback position.
No doubt.
Because our defense plays well. They just do.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the quarterback is just garbage.
Yeah. So this week, Spencer Rattler will be starting for the New Orleans Saints. It's not a turning of the page, but they're giving the Rook a chance to go out and show what he can do while Carr's down. So
I hope this is a repeat of the Brady when he took over for Bledsoe, played so well that Belichick just stayed with him. I hope this kid comes in and does well. We win some games. He's got the talent. We'll just see what he does.
Yeah, and here's the thing. When you're playing for a defensive coach, if you've got a quarterback that can extend plays with his legs and stuff like that, as long as he's smart with the football, I could see him continuing to play. But we'll have to see how he does.
You just said it right there. Smart with the football.
Yeah.
Be smart with it. That's what Carr does not do.
No.
I'd rather see him take a sack than throw it up like he did against the Chiefs. Like, what are you in high school? What are you doing?
Yeah, and then he bitches about it like it's somebody else's fault. I'm like, Carr, look, when you're getting blitzed, you have to go to your hot or you have to eat the ball. One of the two. Those are your two choices. And what does he do? Every time he throws it deep down the middle of the field like a moron. I'm like, geez, man, quit treating the ball like a grenade. But anyway, we saw that rear its ugly head again this last Monday night, and the Chiefs jumped all over it like they've known to do. How many field goals did you kick in this one? It was a few. This is the Chiefs are the example. I always tell people, take the points that are there. Quit this analytics shit because you see it just piles up after a while. Just keep putting pressure on the other team by adding points. I don't understand this analytics.
Yeah, I'm sad they're on a bye week. I don't get Harrison Bucker on my fantasy this week.
Yeah, I
had to go look for a damn kicker.
I did too. I grabbed. I think I grabbed Green Bay.
Well, John's whole team in fantasy is Chiefs, so he had to get covered for everything.
I had coverage for everything. I just didn't have an extra kicker.
Okay, so
by the way, Joe, before you move on,
yes,
the Flacco Sans is going to continue this week.
I know it is.
They just announced it. Yeah.
Yes!
He's badass in that Colt uniform too, man.
Man,
you saw the wheels last week. He's got some speed there. He can do it.
That fighting blue hen took off, didn't he? It was awesome. I think he reached a top speed of 15 miles an hour. It's pretty cool. It was great.
that was so ridiculous.
Okay, guys, we're gonna move on to the game I don't want to talk about. What is it with my teams this week, man? They just went
and last week.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Thursday night. It was the 49ers and the Seahawks. And, At
least this one was a little more forgivable.
Well, I guess it is.
Not to you, but,
I'll be glad when my linebackers get back. We were playing such good defense the first 3 games of the year, but, oh, man, it's gone to poop now. And, Seahawks gave it up against the 49ers on Thursday Night Football this week. Niners still don't look like they're 100% without McCaffrey. And I think they were down to their 3rd running back. I think their 2nd guy got hurt during this game. Of course, these teams don't like each other and they beat each other up pretty good. But the tight end finally showed up again. What's his name for the 49ers?
Kittle.
Yeah. That's it. I keep wanting to say
he was hurt, so he wasn't in games.
Well, so he came back and he got had a lot to say about this game, and they did what they do, but I still don't believe in the 49ers. I just
nobody wants to win the NFC West right now.
Nobody does. Yeah, that's a fact. Watch Arizona take it all this year, right?
Yeah, the 49ers. The 49ers. Is Mason, Jordan Mason.
Yeah.
That's their number 2 running back who I picked up, and I got some points out of him, but he went out. So AC joint shoulder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know if he's playing today or not, but no, he's not playing today because
I would imagine
Thursday Night Football, but I mean next week. I don't know if he's going to play next week. But anyway, anything else you want to punch on the Seahawks
defense
a little
is
bit
just
there?
not what they were doing at the beginning of the season. So
No, they're not.
They were not giving up any yards per catch or after catch, and just they're just not playing sound football right now at all.
I had
not picking the Sea Chunks again this year.
Oh,
not gonna do it.
Okay. That's a little extreme, Dan. It's a little extreme.
Gino, whatever at quarterback. No.
Okay. All right. Well, we got a game going on right now, guys. It's the.
You really want to call that a game? With
the Bears are. The Bears are on the goal line again. So it's,
oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, it's start of the fourth quarter. DeAndre Swift is tearing them up
just
the middle.
when the Jaguars gave us some hope last week. Yikes! Wow. Yeah.
You didn't pick them, did you? Because I didn't.
No. I picked Chicago. Yeah.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, Danny, you picked Chicago too, didn't you? I think he did.
Si, senor.
Yeah. He's a closet case Jaguars fan though, but he probably has put those jerseys away until the supermodel leaves.
I'll wear my Brunel jersey, and I'll root for the team, but that quarterback is just, yeah. He saw the Jaguar franchise coming and laughing all the way to the bank because he's garbage.
Dude. But anyway, that one's still going on. Knock is watching it on the side. He'll give us updates. Let us know if they score again. But yeah, this looks like it's going to go the way everybody thinks it was going to. Well, it just changed right here in real time.
Touchdown.
Yeah, yep. Boom. There it is. Yep. So that was pretty much over, I would imagine. I don't think the Jaguars will be coming back in that one, but who knows? Stranger things have happened. There's
a team that comes back in weird ways. It's the Jags.
The Jaguars will do it, right?
At least it wasn't a DeAndre Swift.
That's Keenan Allen, by the way.
I would rather move on, though, and talk about what I think is the game of the day. And that, this conjured up images to me of a picture I have on the wall over here of Drew Bledsoe, a young gun, taking on Dan Marino, a couple of pocket passers going at it. That's what I thought of when I saw this. I talked to my father, and I'm sure, Knock, and you're in the same area. You're getting this game today. This is going to be a fun game to watch, man.
I get all the games.
Yeah. Well, yes, we know.
I know what you meant, but yes.
Yeah. But we got the old man and Lamar Jackson taking on Jaden Daniels, the young gun. Same type of quarterback. They've got legs. They try and play from the pocket, but they can hurt you with their legs just as easily as with their arms. I think the difference between them on what Lamar has on his side is experience. What Daniels has on his side is a better touch to the football when he throws the ball, if you ask me.
Yeah, he does.
It's always been the way it's always looked to me is that Lamar tries to throw it through a wall every time he throws it, kind of like Cam Newton did. And God, Jaden Daniels can make every throw. I've seen him drop it in a bucket from 50 yards out. I've seen him, throw lasers. He's got every throw you want. So, Danny, start off here on this one. What do you think of this game?
I think it's going to be a good game. It's going to hinge on the Commandos' running game. They've got a great 1-2 punch. If they can control the line of scrimmage and give some balance to the young quarterback, they should do well. Their defense is flying around the ball. The Ravens are always awesome during the regular season. I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be – I wouldn't be surprised if the Ravens pull this thing out. I really wouldn't. But it'll be a good game.
That's who I picked was the Ravens just because of their experience. I mean, let's face it, Washington has been doing dynamite stuff, but this is their toughest test to date.
I'm pretty sure I took the Commandos on that one, but I would be surprised if the Ravens won that game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think everybody except for people in Knox area is probably rooting for the Commandos in this one. But I just think their experience is the plus that they have. They got one of the I think the two longest tenured coaches in the NFL right now are Harbaugh and the King down there, Mr. Reed out there in Kansas City. So they're gonna both of these defenses are good. this could be a low-scoring game. I don't think it will be, though, because it's too. I mean, just the King Henry portion of it. That's going to be the test for the friggin' Washington Commandos, if you ask me, is stopping that guy for 4 quarters. You can stop him for 3, but you better eat your Wheaties in that 4th one. We saw him do it in overtime last week in that game that they won last week. So, yeah, that's a heavy load for that defense this week. It's going to be tough, man. I really wish I could watch this game. I think it's going to be awesome. Anybody that's got the Sunday ticket is going to be watching this one. Knock, thoughts on this one, man? This is your area right there where you live, so tell me all about it. Man.
Yeah, Highlander mentioned the 1-2 punch for Washington. Unfortunately, Brian Robinson's out this game.
Oh, shit.
So they don't have that 1-2 punch. And
that's a killer.
So it's going to rely even more on Daniels. So I'm actually still going to pick the Commanders to win this one.
Really? Okay.
I'll go for the upset pick, I guess. I don't know if you consider this one upset, but it is on the odds, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm not going to go against Jaden Daniels until it looks bad.
Right? Yeah, I hear you. I mean,
and
because he is playing. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, and the Ravens lost to the Raiders, so I mean, I can't forgive them that.
Right? Yeah. So their losses have been kind of weird. Yeah, no doubt. But anyway, yeah. What do you think, John? Who you got in this one?
Well, I went with the Ravens. And I went with the Ravens. Well, first of all, like was pointed out, the Commanders don't have their star running back.
Mm-hmm.
And the Ravens have 2 star running backs. Because let's face it, that's what Lamar Jackson is. He's a running back who can throw the ball.
Yeah, he's a running back who can escape when he's trying to throw. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. So and his big problem is, like you said, he doesn't have the finesse that he needs that Jaden Daniels has. I think Jaden Daniels is a better quarterback, but I think Ravens are going to pull this off.
I tell you something else that I think Jaden Daniels has that you think experience would give to Lamar, but it just hasn't yet, and that's cool under pressure.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're teaching in LSU, but both him and that guy Joe Burrow up there in Cincinnati, you can hit them all day, and they're going to come back at you. They have short memories.
Well, LSU got really lucky with 2 even-keeled personalities. That's a personality trait you either have or you don't. And
you can get in Lamar Jackson's head quite easily. So
Lawrence just threw a pick.
Yeah, of course he did.
Of course he did, because he's a freaking goon.
Because he's Fabio with a helmet on. Go ahead, John. Sorry.
I was going to say, it's easy to get into Lamar Jackson's head.
Yeah,
in a game.
It is. Yeah.
And once you get in there, then you can do it. I don't think the Commanders' pass rush is strong enough to get to him.
Yeah. Yeah. But hey, if anybody can scheme a way to do it, it's Dan Quinn. You got to give him that. He's a good defensive coach. So, Okay, so let's move on to the next one. We got everything's going to pale in comparison to that game right there, I'm pretty sure. Arizona at Green Bay. It's just, wow. After the way Jordan Love played last year in the second half of the season, he's been nicked up. Hopefully he'll get back to form and help me out and keep Arizona off out of the front runner status in the West. But hey, you got to give it to Arizona, man. As usual, let me tell you, this has been a trend over the last 3 years. They are in every game. They might have a losing record, but you have to fight to beat them. They lose almost every game by 3 points or less. They're in it every time. So you credit to their coaching staff and organization out there. Unfortunately, they've got a mental pygmy at quarterback, so he will screw it up occasionally. But just the fact that they're playing in Green Bay, and we know how that home field advantage is, both on the reffing side and the home crowd side and everything. It's a tough place to go into and win. I'm gonna take the Packers in this one. Thoughts on this one, John? What do you think?
I went with the Packers. I went with the Packers because I think they've got more consistency right now than Arizona does.
Yeah, one of the other things I give him a nod to is they've got a defensive back. I think is his name McKinney. I'm not sure the Packers guy, but they got him from the Giants last year, and he has had a pick in every game since the last game of the season last year for the Giants. He got a pick in that game, and he's gotten one in every game the Packers have played this year. So that's an automatic extra possession for the Packers. So that's another reason why I picked them. Thoughts on this one, Dan? What do you think?
Well, these are two 500 teams. It's going to be hard contested. I like the Cardinals in this game. There's something off balance about the Packers. I don't see them really pressing anybody for deep in the playoffs. I like the Cardinals. I like you were saying that they fight in every one of these games.
Yeah, they do.
They're in every one of them, and I like them to go up there and get a win. I don't know why, but I'm picking the Cardinals.
Okay, all right. Knock, what do you think?
Well, I'll tell you, one of the things we don't talk about enough about the Packers is Josh Jacobs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can't forget about him.
Yeah, for
Cannot
sure.
forget about him.
The old Raider, right? Yeah.
I think while Love is getting kind of back on his feet, because like you mentioned before, he was dinged up.
Mm-hmm.
Rely on that run game.
Yep.
Rely on that bruiser that is so difficult to stop, man. So, that's and yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Packers on this one. I don't mind the Cardinals. I like seeing Marvin Harris Jr. do good. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Packers.
Go Pack, go.
Yeah,
run the ball. Off
run the damn ball.
Yeah, run the damn ball. That's it. Okay. Do we even need to talk about this football game here? I am going to be hard. And I believe the Patriots are starting Drake May in this game.
Yep.
Against this defense.
Yep.
Okay.
I wouldn't be scared about this defense.
Do we need to talk about this game at all?
I think we need to, because we need to learn our lessons from last week from Seattle and the Giants. So I think we need to give proper respect to the teams that might be written off but come out and win. This is the Patriots at home. They got a new, their running back is not that bad. Their defense is pretty decent. So I think there's a chance. I'm still going to Texans, so.
That's one thing I love. I swear to God, you should have been on a debate team in high school, man, because you are great at giving the other side of the coin. You really are.
I like to play devil's advocate.
Daniel, our father's football team is bad.
Texans. That's all I have to say.
John, you got anything to add?
I went with Texas as well.
Okay, we're done.
All right, Bears scored again, by the way.
Oh, good Lord. Let the avalanche continue. Yeah, great. What's that, 35 now?
35 to 10, yeah.
Jeez, man, wow. It just gets worse for the Jaguars. Okay, big game in my brother's division today. Spencer Rattler stepping in as the quarterback of the Saints for this one. In his first game, he's going to have to face the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield. You guys know how I feel about Baker Mayfield. How stupid does Cleveland look now? That's all I got to say. How stupid do they look right now?
Somewhere Johnny Manziel is smiling because he's
smiling,
no longer the worst,
laughing.
He's no longer the worst quarterback decision the Browns have made.
That's it, exactly. This is going to be a good one. They're playing in the Dome, so that's instant home field advantage because it is tough to go in there and win, man. It's loud down there. But, Baker's played there for he didn't play there on a regular basis, but he's been there before. What do you think, Dan? It's your division. Tell us what's going to happen in this game.
Well, the problem the Saints are having right now is they're playing mix and match with the offensive line. Centers out, guards out. I mean, they're moving guys around. That's a big problem right there. Pass protection. They need to really. Kamara's got to have a big game. And if we could ever get Hill back on the damn field, he's like McCaffrey. He's got a lot of upside, but he never plays. So if we can run the ball,
when he is playing, That is a totally different football team.
Well, yeah,
The
and that's the
defenses don't
problem.
know what
He
to
doesn't
do.
play every game. I would rather
Yeah.
trade him and get somebody that actually plays every game.
Right.
So
Yeah.
the Saints, it's about the offensive line. I think Rattler, if they have a good game, run the ball, he's going to hit some of these down the field shots they like to throw.
Yeah.
So I like the Saints to win this game.
Yeah.
A 28-17 kind of score. But I like the Saints to win this game. But it's going to hinge on that offensive line.
Okay. Got you, man. John, what do you think of this one?
Well, I went with Tampa Bay. And that's not just because I had to start Baker Mayfield this week because Patrick's off. No, I went out and specifically got Baker Mayfield as my backup. So, no, I think the experience of Baker Mayfield is going to be better than the rookie who's guiding the ship for the first time in his career.
Yeah,
from the start. So, I think that's why I gave the edge to the Buccaneers. It's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be a shootout by any stretch of the imagination, but I think that that it's going to be the Buccaneers. Plus, that like Highlander said, that O-line is cut and paste.
Yeah. They're nicked up. They are. Real quick, Gridiron Master says Menzel was serviceable before he was cut. He had a decent mentor in McCown and an OC that believed in him. Johnny just didn't have discipline to develop, and that's the thing. He was too busy partying, man. And that's the difference in young quarterbacks, dude. If they commit to study and everything, they can really improve, man. And if Spencer Rattler, listens to his coaches and does what they say and not what he thinks, this should be a good game. It should, if he plays within himself, it should be good. Knock, what do you think of this one?
Well, remembering Rattler's at South Carolina, I can actually pull that one out of my hat. He was very inconsistent, is what I remember. Very good. He had games.
That's what I remember at OU
amazing.
myself. Yeah,
I'm talking amazing. He had several upsets. They had at the end of the year. Remember that one year? I think it was junior year. I think they were just doing upset after upset. It was ridiculous. He was insane. But he was too inconsistent, and I don't know why that would have changed in his move over to the NFL. So I actually had the Saints. I had actually picked them first, and then I swapped over when Rattler was named. I still think Derek Carr's not too bad, despite the hate against him. But for
it's not hate, man. It's just a proven
the
thing.
hate is real. Derek Carr is the worst quarterback ever in the NFL history.
So I'm going with the Buccaneers for now. I don't know. The Buccaneers have been kind of disappointing at times. Even Denver's offense went off on them, so it's kind of saying something.
Right.
We put 30 points on them or something like that. We don't do that.
Wow, and Denver doesn't do that. Yeah.
So I don't know. It's like nobody wants to win the NFC South either.
Yeah,
nobody in the NFC wants to win. Period. Apparently, I don't know.
Right.
It's a weird conference.
It is strange. Okay, next up, we got the Cleveland Browns at the Philadelphia Eagles.
Speaking of not wanting to win,
you want to talk about two inconsistent football teams right here? Oh my God. Well, excuse me. The Browns are consistent. They can their quarterback consistently plays badly. But Philly, I took them in this game just because they're the home team. Because really, I've been watching Jalen Hurts this year. He's treating that football like a loaf of bread, man. He is giving it away both through fumbles and interceptions in a bad way this year. I don't know what's happened with him, but he has regressed. Knock, start off on this one. What do you think?
I haven't watched too much of the Eagles. I've seen a good amount of the Browns. Where's the Browns defense went? What happened to that?
Yeah.
This hasn't even been, how bad the offense is. It's been how bad the defense is, really, as well. So, coupled together, it's just been a bad team. Myles Garrett, where's he at? Where's he been? Like
I think
he's
he's
not
out
reckoned.
again this game.
Yeah. So I mean, even when he was on the field though, he wasn't doing much. They were scheming around him easily. I don't know. So I don't think they have Nick Chubb back this year, but I imagine their team will improve significantly once he touched the field.
Okay.
But I'm going with the Eagles.
Okay. Yeah, I just went with them because they're the home team. I don't put any stock in either one of these teams. John, what do you think?
Well, I think the Eagles haven't been the same team since Kelsey retired.
Yeah.
They lost
Could
their
that be the Kelsey effect? I mean, yeah, they haven't. You're right. Yeah,
they lost that anchor in the center. Their new center's just nowhere in Kelsey's league. That said, the Browns defense hasn't shown up this year like they did last year. Their quarterback would rather spend time hanging out in the booth than he would taking reps. He's making Ryan Leaf look good.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Yeah, it's bad.
So yeah, I went with
Did the Colts pick up Flacco just to keep the Browns from getting him again?
There you
Probably.
go. I have to say again, how stupid do the Browns look letting Baker Mayfield out of there?
No, it's the lesson. They picked Flacco up because it's the lesson learned from the Chiefs. You always get a veteran to back up your star quarterback.
There you go.
You're never going to convince me that Carson Wentz is a quality backup there, John.
Oh my God, yeah. If Carson
it's not going to happen, John. You can say it all you want.
Danny, what do you think of this game? What do you think?
I think both of these franchises are on the decline. Something is amiss with that Eagles team. I think the head coach may have lost his locker room there. They just they don't appear to be the same team that was in the Super Bowl not too long ago. And the Browns, they're missing Chubb. I mean, they're missing their run game. You know, the Eagles, center position is a crucial position on the offensive line. And if you don't have stability there, you're going to have a hard time doing anything offensively. So, with that being said, I would take the Eagles at home in just a ugly football game.
Kind of curious, you guys. This is a question for the table. Do you guys think the loss of their offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator after that Super Bowl run affected them more than we think?
I think it has a lot to do with it, man. I really do.
Sorry, guys. I got to jump off. It's time for Terry. Y'all have a good
Terry time. Take care, Daniel. Send me the rest of your picks, bro. I love you.
All right, have a good one.
Good. You guys have a good one too. I sent you your picks this morning. So check your text message.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Y'all take care.
Take it easy. And on that note, we do have to say hi to a friend of the show who just popped in. And if you guys don't know his name by now, you're just not paying attention.
There are some who call me Tim.
That's right. Tim is here. He said, I don't think people know what my name is yet. Well, we know what your name is. How's it doing? How's it going this fine Sunday morning, sir? Good to see you. Yeah, man, this is two inconsistent football teams that just are going in the wrong direction. Yikes. The Flacco science continues. Yes, I know it drove not crazy last year, but it continues. Yes, the Flacco science. And I took the Colts because of it. Because, dude, I actually heard, what was it? The Packers-Rams game last week. Jordan Love pulls a Will Levis, right? Yeah. They actually, I saw more than one sportscaster call it that this guy, he's another one like Jalen Hurts that's giving the ball away at an alarming rate, doing stupid shit. But the Flacco science is heading into Tennessee in this division matchup. I'm taking the Colts. What do you think there, Knoxter?
I'm actually going with the Titans. I'm going with the upset on this one.
Oh, man.
Yeah. There's something sneaky about this Titans team. If you take out the terrible play by Levis, this team actually hasn't been that bad.
Right.
The defense has been crazy
good.
Mm-hmm. The defense has been actually really good. And the offense has done, enough outside of the turnovers. They've done enough to win games. It's just the turnovers. It's the killer, boneheaded plays that take it out. Well, if they didn't do that, they win this game, I think.
Yeah, look, they could easily be 3-1 right now. Will Levis threw the game away against the Bears in the first week, right? I mean, it's just, oh God, it's horrible. So you're taking the Titans. Anything else you want to say about it?
No. I mean, can Flacco go off again? Probably. Who knows?
He will.
Picks this year have been iffy anyways, so I'm just kind of going with whatever. But the Titans are that sneaky team, man. They win weird games.
Yeah. Well, I think they're heading to bad days because they let Vrabel out of the house. That's just me. But John, what do you think?
Flacco Sans. That's all I'm going to say.
Flacco Sans. That's right. So
Flacco. I went with I did pick the Colts to win.
Okay.
No.
Is Taylor playing today, or is he still nicked up?
I didn't check.
Check. Who knows? You guys let me know here in a minute so we can let our viewing audience know. Big game in you guys' division today. The Los Angeles Chargers at 2-2 going up against the winning record of the Denver Broncos.
Ooh.
What?
No, Jonathan Taylor's out.
Jonathan Taylor's out. Okay. I still go with the Flacco Sons.
I do too.
But anyway, we got the Chargers against Knox's beloved Broncos. Go, man. Tell us what's going to happen in this one.
I really I'm going to already miss the 1 p.m. game so I can decide if it's going to ruin my day quicker. But
oh, my God.
We're back to the 4 p.m. games Eastern.
Yeah.
So it's just I hate watching our offense so much. they don't let Knicks cook at all until the second half, and it's just 3 and out. So many 3 and outs, man. It's so bad that we get no separation from our wide receivers. Whenever he does have time in the pocket, he's so skittish that he throws a bad ball. And then by the second half, he's calmed down finally, and we do okay. But that first half is just, it hasn't been that bad since freaking Tim Tebow was there.
Tebow, I was going to say,
At least he had that fourth quarter magic, and it's just, oh my God, it's so awful to watch this offense at times.
I always had a soft spot for Tebow. I always kind of liked him, although I think he was a better tight end than he was a quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, he was a better running back. He was
yeah, right. That's
He wasn't a tight end at all.
I thought he played tight end when he
did. They wanted him to play tight end.
They wanted him to, but he never made a roster as a tight end.
He would never. Yeah, I think whenever Urban Meyer went to Jacksonville, I think he said he would play for him at tight end. And I think he actually went to camp with them and didn't make the team.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe
he said he would play tight end for that guy. And
I don't know why people didn't give him a chance, though. If he was so adamant about being a quarterback, I think they should have put him in like a Taysom Hill role.
Right.
Just a different role than a traditional quarterback or traditional tight end or anything like that. I don't want to see him blocking on a play. That's stupid.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see him catching passes. I want to see him run the ball. Get him on jet sweeps or something. Get him the ball in his hands and have him run. I don't know. It just seemed like nobody knew the right role to give him. And I guess he just wanted to pass the ball too much. But going back to this game, I mean I think we have the better team. Over our defense is killing it. Our defense is really killing it. And so it just all depends on our offense scoring some freaking points.
Yeah, if they can play complementary football, I'm with you. Yeah.
I mean, our defense is scoring points now. We had pick 6 last week. That changed the game. Oakland was going to go up 17-0 on that game, and then Pat Surtain turned it back. And that was
a 10-point swing, man. They would have got at least a field goal out of it, and all of a sudden he takes it back for a touchdown. That was huge. That had everything.
Scored like 30 points straight after that. It was insane. And then they benched Minshew.
Let's see. Gridiron Master says Tebow as a fullback might have worked.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Mostly run, but the occasional block and play action passes.
Yeah.
Tim, take it easy. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Good to see you. John, thoughts on this one?
I went with the Chargers.
Yeah.
That's who I
Well,
picked.
let me ask you this. One thing we didn't check on. We know that Herbert's ankle's been nicked up. Is he? He's playing though, right?
Yeah, he's playing,
through the pain, isn't he?
Yeah, he's playing.
That's what I thought. Okay. Go ahead. Finish your thoughts on this one. I'm sorry.
I think that as good as Denver's defense is, I think they've got better coaching over in Chargerland than Denver does.
I think it's about even myself, but then again, I hate Jim Harbaugh. So
yeah, I think Harbaugh's a little yeah.
But no doubt he's a good coach. I just hate him.
Yeah.
I mean, from his years in 49er land, that's why I hate him.
That's true.
Yeah. But I took the Broncos in this one simply because they're the home team and they have the better defense.
Yeah.
That's why I took them. Herbert is nicked up, so the Broncos are going to do everything they can to hurt that guy. Now, Harbaugh, being a good coach, I will admit he's a good coach, even though he's a whiny pain in the ass. We'll have them running the ball as much as they can. So I would say the Broncos' path to victory would be stopping the run in this game. But I just feel like you're discounting Sean Payton as a coach. I really think that once that Bo Nix has an understanding of what he's doing and everything, this is really going to blossom. And I think what's holding the Broncos back is their running game. They need to really concentrate on busting some big runs during the game because that will open everything up in this offense. I've said it every week so far, and it's the truth. Sean Payton's offense is predicated on the run. You can say what you want about Drew Brees throwing all these touchdown passes and stuff. He wouldn't have done it unless he had the running backs he had. So I think it was Pierre Thomas in the Super Bowl era who was dynamite. And they need that. If the Broncos can do that, then I think they're going to win anyway. They're at home, and this is their defense really showed me something last week. Like we talked about, that 10-point swing on that one play was just amazing, and it crushed the other team. They couldn't come back from it. It was great. I'm taking the Broncos. John's got the Chargers, and I'm sorry. Did I get a pick out of you, Knock? We may have cut you off before you gave us the pick.
No, I'm going with the Broncos.
Okay.
I'm going out on the limb. Although, let's be honest, I'm out on that limb.
It's not a limb. That's not a limb. This is a division game. You throw the freaking records out.
Our offense could score 0 points in this game.
Yes, absolutely.
It's been that bad.
It has been. But it's not a limb at all. I just have a feeling about this one that Denver's going to actually stop the run and win the game. So
this may be a slightly emotional pick for me too, because this Chargers are my brother-in-law's team. So
there you go. See, now we get down to the nitty-gritty. There it is. Okay, next up. Oh my God. Do we even have to talk about this one? Good Lord. The Pittsburgh Steelers going out to Las Vegas to play the Raiders in the afternoon slot.
Arrowhead Casino.
Yeah. Arrowhead Casino. Good Lord. Yeah, man. I took the Steelers in this one just because this has ugly football game written all over it, and they win ugly games. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers defense is the toughest bunch on the field today. I mean, Gardner Minshew could show up and throw 3 touchdowns. He could. I mean, this guy.
Minshew's not starting. It's Aiden O'Connell.
Yep. Aiden O'Connell starting?
Yeah, AOC. Yep.
Okay, wait a minute. Was Minshew benched or is he hurt?
He was benched.
He was benched. And Aiden O'Connell started.
They benched him in the Broncos game, and then they're sticking with O'Connell for this game.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm glad I picked the Pittsburgh Steelers then. Yeah, okay, that'll work. Okay,
Just makes you feel that much better about that pick.
it does. It makes me feel a lot better about that pick. It's going to be an ugly game anyway. Regardless, this is going to be an ugly game.
I think the controversy is Russell Wilson going to play?
Right? Yeah. I mean, after they lost that game last week, they were actually thinking
if they lose this one.
Yeah, if they get to 3-3, the talk for Russell is going to be. But
he's
this
healthy
is the thing.
now.
Will they
he's
be talk for Russell? I mean,
he's healthy now. He's not. He was injured, quote unquote, before, and now he's not.
Right.
They can't put him on that injury report anymore.
Yeah. So.
The only thing injured was his ego.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Well, not his wallet. So Hey.
No, his wallet was fine. His ego was injured because he got demoted to.
I think his ego is just fine with the amount of money I think the money dampens the pain. I'm sure.
Yeah. Right. All that money that
to
Denver is still paying him. Yeah.
He doesn't need the money because he's married to a pop star.
Oh my God. Okay.
I guess Kelsey should stop playing.
I need a pick out of you fellas. Knock. Who you got?
I went with the Steelers. I'm not going to trust in O'Connell.
Yep. Okay.
No matter what. There could be a pick six in this.
Well, the Raiders haven't really been the same since they got rid of Jacobs.
Yeah.
So I'm going with the Steelers.
Josh Jacobs. Yeah.
Yep.
That it's kind of like the Giants getting rid of Saquon Barkley. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Your best player, you get rid of him. I've never understood that.
Well, it's because
me neither. And the Seattle still lost to them. It's crazy. It's insanity.
I swear to God, I'll be so glad a month from now. I really will.
No, he'll still be bringing it up tomorrow.
I mean,
trust me.
I mean, we totally look. We all went past that game. Okay.
Yeah, we did. Every last one of us. Nobody picked the Giants.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, that was a game they needed to win, and we said it. We said if they lose this game, that's panic mode.
Well, the worst thing about it is the freakish way they lost it. We were 10-point swing here. We're kicking to tie the game, and they fucking blocked the kick and returned it for a touchdown. It just fucking kicked us in the nuts so bad we haven't recovered from it yet. Shit. Anyway, next game, thank you. The Atlanta Falcons taking on the hapless Carolina Panthers. But they have decided to quit the experiment with Bryce Young, and they do have a trigger man that can throw 300 yards with the footballs. It's just, will he throw to the other team is the question. And we've got Kirk Cousins coming off that 500-yard performance against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that they shouldn't have even had a chance to win because of a non-call on a face mask when they were running out the clock, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, if you guys remember what I'm talking about.
I mean, the Bucs could have stopped Cousins from throwing for 500 yards, but they didn't.
Yeah. You guys talk about this game. I hate this game. I don't like the quarterback of the Falcons. I don't like the Panthers. Ugh.
I'm going for the Falcons. I'm still not going to trust the Panthers. Because they do well, it makes no difference to me.
By the way, my pick is Atlanta, begrudgingly. Yeah.
I just hope that they, what's his name, Commit, the tight end for the Bears, just did really good, and I sat him for Kyle Pitts. So
yeah,
I really hope that they remember that Kyle Pitts can catch the ball.
I mean, come on.
I will never understand the concerted effort to ignore him. It's like not throwing. No,
it's stupid, isn't it?
Not as big, but it's like not throwing to Megatron, right? Yeah. Just throw it up there, dude. Just throw it up. Like he'll probably catch it.
Yeah, not throwing to Kittle, right?
Yeah,
not throwing to Travis Kelce. Yeah, let's do that.
Just ignore them.
Yeah,
it just makes no sense. I like Drake London. I like their running back, but Kyle Pitts is there. Throw him the damn ball.
That's it. John, who you got?
Well, I think the Falcons are starting to gel a little bit.
Yeah.
Had a good win. They had a good win last week.
That's a big win against the Buccaneers. That's who they're going to it's going to be between, let's face it, the Panthers are not going to vie for the division championship. It's going to be one of the other three teams. Yeah. If New Orleans can get their shit together, which it's yet to be seen. Let's see how Spencer Rattler plays. But
I'm just not saying
when you look at it on paper, it's going to come down to the Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons, and that's a huge win for them. They've got a leg up on them, right?
Yeah, Falcons went out and spent all that money. And
that's it.
there's shades of it starting to gel. So
It
I
paid
saw- I
off
saw-
in the game that it had to, right?
yeah,
It did. So
I saw a meme somewhere. They were like, "Man, can you believe the Falcons almost went and got Watson?"
oh my God, yeah. There was talk of that last year, wasn't there? Oh,
Oh, big
jeez.
time, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Good move, Atlanta. Good move. Yes. Even though I'm not a fan of the guy, but he just seems like Aaron Rodgers light to me, is what he seems like to me. Not to even say that he has the talent of Aaron Rodgers. I mean his attitude.
he's a diva.
That's the way he comes off to me. Okay, so we got now this game I'm going to see today because I'm in their market, and
Good game.
man, this is the Cowboys haven't won at home yet this year. They haven't won at home yet this year.
Yeah.
Both those
Y'all
losses
still
are
them
at
boys?
home, and I think they're going to hold serve. I've watched the Lions a couple of times this year. Well, everybody watched them in that first Sunday night game against the Rams, where they just ran the ball, didn't even throw a pass in overtime, and won the game. And I watched them just recently against my Seahawks in their first loss of the season. And I got to say, after watching them, one thing that people aren't talking about with this team, everybody's rooting for them, no doubt. I mean, everybody in the NFL roots. They're kind of like the Buffalo Bills of the NFC. Everybody roots for this team. I've never met anybody that hates the Lions. You know what I'm saying? They're like the sad sacks that have actually come around. But one thing they're not talking about is how tough physically this team is. I watched Montgomery just mow people down against Seattle. I mean, guys squared up on him and he mowed them down. He's like watching a bowling ball just pinball off of all kinds of shit. This is a tough football team. Now, if they're susceptible to anything, it's defense. And like a lot of teams these days, they're built to play with a lead. They've got a really good pass rusher, but they can be hurt in the middle and on the edges a little bit. If they're suspect anywhere, it's their secondary, because their secondary doesn't play disciplined. They have way too many pass interference penalties. But they're contesting every ball. It's just the way they do it.
They're just way too handsy.
Yeah, exactly. They need to be but that's part of the physicality of their team. They play physical. They play in the they've taken on the mentality of their head coach. Campbell is a tough guy mentally, and they have taken on that mentality. And I think that's partially why Jared Goff has become a better quarterback. I mean, he's become tough-minded. So I think they're going to go into Dallas and beat them. Dallas is – I think their lack of running game, they're a team that's built to play with a lead. And without that running game, they can't get that lead. And look, guys, if you want to see Dallas's defense fail, get up 7 points on them and run the football at them, because Micah Parsons will run right past the running back trying to kill a quarterback. It's been proven. He's not as good in the running game as he is at pass rushing. So I give the edge in this one to the Lions. Knock. Talk to me about this one.
Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely think the Lions have become the darling of the NFL in general. I always root for a team that's never won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's just I think getting that your first one is the biggest thing. And I went for the Eagles when they did their run. And then they ended up being Tom Brady with a backup QB to be one of the greatest stories there is.
Yep.
To get their first Super Bowl, that's insane. And so I'm definitely rooting for the Lions big time. They just signed David Montgomery extension for another 2 years.
Oh, well.
So they got him and Gibbs for the next 3 years easy.
You know what? Gibbs runs tough too. Everybody talks about him with his speed, but you watch him run between the tackles. He puts his shoulder into people, man. He's got some. He's smaller, but he's tough. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And it's so nice because you have those two guys and they can complement each other. They don't work against each other. They complement each other.
Yep.
And they give each other rest, and you don't lose that productivity when one is off the field.
Mm-hmm.
You can do whatever you want with either one of them. Now Montgomery's a little bit more of the power and gives the speed, but they don't give that much from the other.
Mm-hmm.
So that it's really nice that they have there. And then Goff is playing at an all-pro level right now. That game against Seattle you mentioned, he was perfect in the game. 18
Oh my
for
God,
18
for 18. Yeah, we couldn't
and
stop
for what,
the guy.
270, 300 yard, whatever it was, and like he's not throwing little dink downs all the time.
And let's talk about that number real quick. 18 of 18. They ran the football.
Yeah.
Ran it right down our throats, man.
Yeah, 18 passes isn't a lot.
No.
18 is not a lot. That's what you get. That's a balance.
Yep.
That is the definition of balanced offense right there.
Yep.
And there's no defense alive that can stop both the run and they can stop the pass at the same time that the run is functioning at that high level, because you have to come up, and that leaves you vulnerable over top.
Sure does.
And that's how it works. That's what Sean Payton's trying to do right now. Unfortunately, we just don't have a run game in Denver.
That's the thing you got to get. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but the Lions have that. The Lions have that. They have that offensive line is so good at creating those holes.
Oh my God, getting off the bus, you should see these guys. They're huge. I mean, God, they make Goff look small, and he's not a small guy. He's like 6'3". And
it's just the Cowboys are in trouble with this one for sure. The Lions are firing on all cylinders, all the words you want to say about an offense going. They're rolling, they're firing all those little clips you want to say. That's what the Lions are right now.
Yeah.
So I think the Cowboys offense can probably keep up. I think but I think turnovers are gonna, when they get desperate to keep up with the Lions, it's gonna get them in the end.
Mm-hmm. I got you, John. What do you think of this one?
I'm just checking to see if those are still them boys.
Yeah, just checking to see if he's still them boys. Yes.
No, when your running back room looks like the commercial with Emmitt Smith and Jerry Rice.
Right. Let's come out of retirement.
Well, they got that guy. I always forget his name. Toil or something like that. Towel Toil. Mm-hmm. He doesn't seem that bad. He's the one they've been running the most. But he's nothing special from what I saw. Yeah. So, unfortunately.
I think it's going to be like Lions in a Coliseum. It's going to be the Lions.
Yeah, I hear you. The bright spot on the Cowboys offense has been Turbin. Is that his name? The return man that's actually catching balls on offense now. That's giving them some mixed up stuff. But the only chance the Cowboys have, as far as I'm concerned, is throwing it deep, because they will get penalties on the secondary. They are awful hands, like we talked about. If they want to win this game, I'd be throwing deep from the get-go, just to see if.
And you got to get after Goff. Goff can be.
He can be got, but nobody's getting after him. That line is something else, man. They're good. They're good. I'm sorry to cut you off, John. Finish your thoughts on this.
You've also got to figure out which Dak you're getting.
Yeah.
Because Dak is still inconsistent.
Yeah.
Even though they gave him all that money, he's still inconsistent.
Yeah.
Well, the game's over. Bears win 35-16.
35-16? Okay.
Final score, yep.
All right. Cool. And what did they do? Score a touchdown and go for two, trying to
pretty much. Yeah. With 7 minutes to go, and that was about it.
That was
all the fight they can muster.
Yeah, something's got to change in Jacksonville. I just got a feeling since they gave all that money, since they gave all the money to the supermodel, it's probably going to be the head coach, and it's not his fault. So you can coach all you want, but it's down to the Jimmies and the Joes. Guys on the field have to perform, and they're just not doing it.
So is it Quinn Ewers or Dylan Gabriel going to the Jaguars next year?
Right. I don't know.
Or Cam Ward.
That contract's so big, they can't afford to friggin' take a top-notch quarterback. They can't. I mean, oh God, look, they're in trouble for a while with that quarterback. Okay, they're just like the Cleveland Browns. The contract is killing that team. Yep, absolutely. Okay, so tonight we've got. Now, I'm going to enjoy watching this because I did watch this guy play in college. And he's something else. I don't think the Giants are going to overcome this one. I really don't. You can say what you want about the Bengals, but they're going to score. Joe Burrow is not the reason why this team's losing. They remind me of the Saints before they got a defense. They're losing games 38-35. You know what I mean? It's The defense is the entire problem with the Bengals, but it's going to be fun to watch Joe Cool get out there and play tonight. I know John doesn't like the guy, but I do. I dig him. I think Joe Cool is cool, and I'm looking forward to watching him because you guys know I can't stand New York football, New York teams, period, in any sport. The only one I have any respect for is the New York Islanders in hockey. That's about the only one. But I'm picking the Bengals in this one tonight. Just because I can't stand the New York Giants. Now, they've proven they can jump up and bite anybody, but they did that last week to my Seahawks. So they're due to crash right back down in front of their home crowd this week. So, yeah, I'm picking the Bengals in this one. John, what do you think about your kryptonite going into New York? What do you think?
Well, I don't think he's our kryptonite anymore, but not when it matters anyway.
Yeah, I hear you.
But no, I think that even despite their slow start, their 4 losses, I think that Joe Burrow and the Bengals have more talent on their side of the ball than the Giants do, especially since the Giants just gave away their best player.
Yeah, it's hard to understand.
But
I think Neighbors is out tonight too for the Giants, isn't he?
I think
he's nicked up.
Yeah. He's nicked up. Yeah, he got hurt in that game when he put up all those numbers, but it cost him.
Yeah.
But the Bengals, they still have a turnstile there on the left.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but Giants really don't have a super strong pass rush either.
No.
So.
Well, I think Thibodeau would have something to say about that. And so would the Seattle's offensive line. So
yeah,
I would not discount the defensive line of the Giants. It's why they've won 2 games, for sure. And Bengals have notoriously never had a good offensive line, so can't count them out.
I am counting them out this week, so I think the Bengals are going to win.
Yeah, there you go. Go ahead, Knock. Expand on those thoughts.
No, I mean I'm still picking the Bengals for sure. I think I think Neighbors is out. I haven't checked, but even with him in there, he's the only offensive player they have, and it's just not enough. He did as much as he could, and he got hurt. He used him so much that he eventually just broke down. Yep. And so I don't know. The Bengals are trying to claw their way back in. They're hoping the Ravens fumble a little bit, especially against DC. So, and they're going to see, especially if the Ravens lose today, the Bengals are going to see that. And if the Ravens win today, the Bengals are going to see that and try to keep up. So I think either way, the Bengals will be motivated on this one to get this win, to get back into that race, and only be back down just a game behind.
Well, a 1-4 record. That should be enough for a professional to get motivated. But you're right. Yeah, if they see that they're going to definitely want to jump on it. Okay, so we're all on the Bengals for that one. And then the last game of the week on Monday night, thank God they've gone back to one fucking Monday night game.
Yeah.
Yikes. That whole 2 is just fucked up. It's the Buffalo Bills going into New York to play the Jets after they have fired their head coach. We should have mentioned this at the top of the hour. First of all, before we talk about this game, what do you think of the Jets firing Robert Saleh after their loss in England last week?
I think Rodgers went and tattled to the ownership is what happened. He went and cried to the ownership.
Swears up and down he didn't.
Yeah, I know he swears up and down he didn't.
Swears up and down he had. But we saw the clip, didn't we, boys and girls?
Yep.
We saw Robert Saleh go to hug him, and he shoved him and gave him that look, right? Yeah. Picture says 1,000 words, man. It really does.
And there's also a controversy with the firing, besides the fact that they got fired out of nowhere. Because I mean, the Jets are 2-3. It's not like they're 0-5.
In that division, they're not out. No, they win this game tonight. They're leading the division. So
So, I mean, it wasn't the coach's record that got him fired, so it must have been something else. Now, there's a controversy because there's people saying he got fired because he's been wearing the Lebanese flag on his uniform, on his outfit.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
I never heard any of that. But
I haven't heard any of that.
I
But
highly doubt that would
it's
affect it.
yeah, but yeah, who knows? I do know that one of the things they said was I guess Woody Johnson was the ambassador to the UK at one point, and he didn't like losing in front of all of his friends there, something like that. So, Knock, what do you
Yeah,
think of this fire? What is it?
I'm sharing the
Okay,
article
yeah,
from
go.
the New York Post.
Okay, Robert Sarver wearing the Lebanese flag on outfitted played a part in Jets firing Joe. Wow. That must be the guy who wrote the article or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, or that's their source. Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, go check out that article. It's in the New York Post. I'm not going to look into it right now, but if that's the case, that's a stupid reason to fire a head coach.
And leaves them liable for suits. But
yeah, for sure. But anyway, Knock, what do you think of this firing?
I think it's interesting. I did read somewhere that there was a plan to now. The defensive coordinator has taken up the mantle as interim.
Yeah, Ulbrich.
And in his first decision, he is taking away play calling from Daniel Hatchett. And the article I read, and like I said, can't believe everything you read on online, but it looked like that Saleh was going to do that anyways. So at this point, Hatchett is just on his way out. I have a feeling that he probably would have gotten fired if Saleh hadn't. I don't know. I feel like this is what happens when you have a defensive guy that doesn't do offense at all. And unfortunately, if he had been with the Saints, they would have kept him forever. But in New York, they fire things a little bit. They fire being guys.
Well,
a little more
to be clear, this is the first time Woody Johnson's done this in the middle of the season. This is the first time he's ever done it. So, and he's owned the team since the turn of the century. He's owned the team since the time that Bill Belichick said he didn't want to work for him anymore. So
I did see another meme where they showed Bill Belichick in a Jets uniform. So
yes,
this would have been the funniest thing ever if they could pull it off. Which
guys, he's living his best life. If he comes back to coaching, it's definitely not going to be for the Jets.
Dude, I think he will be back, but I think him and Nick Saban. Have you seen Nick Saban on those Saturday morning shows?
Yes,
he is. He's cracking
totally
smiles.
different guy.
It's weird. It's totally weird. He's cracking smiles like him.
Yes.
Pat is like bringing him out of his shell in the biggest way.
Yeah.
Pat McAfee, by the way, who's saving ESPN on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Like no
yes,
other.
he is. Yes.
Just an absolute character.
Watch his podcast. It's great. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I see him just every day on that podcast, just talk about everything.
And by the way, I watched the one where Aaron Rodgers showed up the next day after the firing, and he swore up and down.
Of course. He's a regular on that show.
And I'm good friends with him. Didn't see it coming, but yeah, you could tell he was smiling the whole time. He was smiling. I'm like, okay. Me personally, I think this is the stupidest thing they could have done. Robert Saleh is a good coach, but this is what happens when you make your deal with the devil.
Yep.
I mean, he can deny it all day long, but look, guys, Nathaniel Hackett keeps getting hired because he does what Aaron Rodgers wants him to do. That's his butler. Okay. Basically that's Batman's butler. That's his Alfred. Okay. This is what happens when you make the deal with the devil. As soon as I saw the Jets fucking signed Aaron Rodgers, I was like, oh man, you guys are in for it now. You just thought things were bad. And I think, when it comes to today's game, I think he could go out and win it, but it's a Pyrrhic victory, boys and girls, because he's going to go right back to crying and moaning about his supporting cast the next week when they lose again. It's a pattern with him by now. Okay. And I got to say what that head coach that he lobbied to get McCarthy out of there for in Green Bay, that was a good move, but it's not because of him. That guy's just a really good coach. Flores is a good coach, or whatever his name is. I can't remember his name right now. It starts with an F. But man, he's got a pattern of this. Aaron Rodgers is to the quarterback position as Terrell Owens is to the wide receiver position. He will blow up a team internally, and he's doing it with the Jets now. So you get what you pay for, Jets. Hope you're enjoying it. I know Rich Eisen was just floored by this, and he's the biggest Jets fan in the world, and I watch him weekly, and he was just like, I don't understand. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're hoping to achieve. The only thing they're hoping is that Ulbrich, being an ex-player, can motivate this team to play better. And until you get a running game, until you get guys that will catch the ball, our good friend Aaron Rodgers is going to keep getting frustrated and overthrowing shit so he can go sit back on the bench and bitch. Okay? That's what you get, Jets fans. Anyway, I picked the Jets in this one because I think he will go out and out-duel the mental pygmy that is Josh Allen for 1 week, and then he'll go back to his losing ways. Knock, what do you got here, bro?
Oh, this is just before we wrapped up. That was all.
Okay.
If you want me to play it now, it's completely unrelated to what we're talking about.
Okay, so let's wrap up this game because we'll be about done. Okay, yeah. Knock, thoughts on this game after talking about
I'm still not ready to give up on the Bills. I know you are readily standing by anytime.
Know this, folks. You cannot listen to me when it comes to the Bills. I have a wall against the Bills. I just don't like them. They can easily beat this team if they want to, but
I'm still not going to have faith in the Jets. I don't think their defense has been as good as years past, and now they just lost their actual defensive coordinator.
Yes. Yeah.
And I don't know who they have. I think it's the wide receivers coach. I think is now calling the plays. So I don't know. I don't see any difference.
He needs to teach his wide receivers how to catch. That's what he needs to do. Anyway, go ahead.
So I'm going to stick with the Bills. I think they're going to bounce back in this one and show that why they're the head of this division still.
Yeah. And we, you know what? We need to start calling this the AFC least. That's for sure. Remember, it was the NFC least there for a few years.
I think all the divisions were. The Broncos were at some point. The NFC North was at the NFC South, the NFC West.
Yeah.
The NFC. I think every division has been.
This may be the worst division in football right now, though. I mean, think about it.
At least the Bills are over 500. Are any of the
New England Patriots? Yeah, this is a bad division. Oof. Anyway, so he's got Buffalo in this one. John, what you got?
Well, despite all of Aaron Rodgers' talent, and we can't take that away from him. He is a talented quarterback.
Didn't say he wasn't talented. I'm just saying he's a diva. That's all.
Yeah, he's locker room poison. And I think his players are not going to step up for him. And I think that's the problem. That's why they're not catching the balls. They're not willing to work.
Mm-hmm.
And because he doesn't inspire leadership in him.
Yeah.
And I think he should have retired last year rather than trying to come back.
He's got to be questioning his decision, right? Yeah. Mm.
But no, I'm going with the Bills. I think the Bills are a better team than the Jets are at this point.
I'm the only team that took the Jets this week? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and you love New York football.
Yeah, I do. I love it so much. I know this.
That just shows how much he hates the Bill, how much he hates Josh Allen.
Does. This is two New York teams here, guys. I got to tell you, it is. And a lot of people forget Buffalo is in upstate New York. Okay,
yeah.
It just is. I gotta. It's been what's happened in the past when they dumped McCarthy. And they've got the next head coach. He won for that guy coming out the gate. So, I just have a feeling about it. And it's only for this 1 week. He'll go back to bitching and all that shit next week. Trust me, when they lose again. As soon as they lose again, then the wheels will come off. But I think they're going to win this week. But, Buffalo, they could easily win this division. I mean, they got a bunch of pushovers in it. The only competition they have is the Jets, and it's only because of Aaron Rodgers. And yes, Aaron Rodgers is a talented motherfucker. That guy, he does things much like Patrick Mahomes that you can't coach. He does things like that all the time, but he is an old man now. So those things are going to come few and far between now. But anyway, there was another thing I wanted to ask about this one, and I can't remember what it was. Shit. All right. Well, if it comes to mind before the end of the show, I will ask you guys about it. But anyway, that's this week's slate of games. What do you got for us here, Big Daddy?
Oh yeah, I forgot I wanted to show this for the college show, but this is the halftime at the Georgia game. The the Glenn Powell show that's coming out with Chad Powers. They came out with their fictitious team out of the entrance there, and the Georgia fans were told to boo. So you remember Eli Manning did Chad Powers where he went to the oh, okay, I guess that was really short, but
Gotcha.
But basically, yeah, so they came out. Let's see if this one shows a little bit more.
Okay.
Sorry, I wish it was just on YouTube. But yeah, you can see it kind of coming out. I can't really blow it up, but there we go. So we got Glenn Powell as Chad Powers coming out into the field as part of their show, and the crowd was told to boo. So I thought that kind of cracked me up. So their show is going on. I don't know what the name of their team is, or fictional team or whatever, but I found that kind of funny that they were in the tunnel and everything, and then they ran out, and then the crowd was just told to boo. Yeah. And so those the Georgia fans, and then there was an interview with Kirby Smart, and he's like, "Hey, the reporter's like, what did you think of Glenn Powell?" And he was like, "Who?" he doesn't know anything outside of football.
Right.
So I just thought that was worth mentioning, that they had the Chad Powers saga continues when they came out on the field. I thought that was
Gridiron Masters has
never watched it myself, but yeah, that's cool, man. All right, well, shoot, that is it for this week, guys. Any more comments you want to say about the slate of games we got in the NFL this week?
Well, I just want to highlight Gridiron Masters' comment.
Okay. Oh, I see. Rodgers needs to move on and be unburdened by what has been. Yes, you're absolutely right. It's going to be a glorious day when that guy finally retires. Thank God. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. He was a gem for a long time, but I didn't like him from the get-go. He's always been arrogant. The whole championship belt thing, he did that before he even won a championship, and it just made me just not like the guy. I've never liked him. He's probably a great human being other than on the football field, but he's funny. I know that because every time he gets interviewed, I think he's funny as hell. But
it seems like when he was in that hole for 3 days, he was not unburdened by what has been.
No, he was not unburdened, and that's just. I don't.
Well, God, I know. Allie absolutely hates him. So
I can't stand the guy. Football to me is the ultimate team sport, and he's trying to put the I in team, and I don't like it. I do not like it. Never have liked it.
Same, I am. I do not like green eggs and ham.
Do not like green eggs and ham. Absolutely. Okay, boys and girls, that's it for this week. Anything you want to push besides what I'm going to push? Anyway, there, John.
You don't want to talk about the Thursday night game? We always talk about Thursday night game.
Yeah. Forgot about that. Hang on. Sorry.
I'm a little sad that Highlander's not here for it.
Oh, boy. What do we got Thursday night next week? Oh, my God. What's going on?
I can get my torture out earlier. It's
nice. My God. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're going to be talking about that next week, aren't we? Oh, boy. Next Thursday night, this Thursday coming up in the Dome. Ooh, you got to come.
I'll get to watch a whole quarter. It's going to be great.
It's the return of Sean Payton to the scene of the crime. Wow. Now, have they played the Saints in the Dome since he went out there? Did they play last year?
I don't think so.
I don't think they did.
Yeah, this is going to be his first trip to the Dome. Wow, man.
Wow.
And Dennis Allen, who's a defensive-minded coach. Ooh, this may not be good for you, but then again, depends on what we see today. Can Spencer Rattler respond to coaching quick enough for them to get him to not make a lot of mistakes?
Will the Broncos feast on that kid?
Will the Broncos feast on that kid? Rookie. That's the thing.
Feast on that rookie.
I think that's going to dictate this game more than how Bo Nix plays, because you know what? Dennis Allen knows Sean Payton and what he's going to do. He knows it.
And Sean Payton knows Dennis Allen. And
Yes, he does. And he that.
So who's going to know who better?
Well, this is the thing. I think the other side of the ball is what's going to dictate what happens in the game. It's Spencer Rattler and how he plays against a good defense. That's going to dictate more than what the other matchup does, because the Dome Patrol is going to be there. They're going to be there, and we all know that the Honey Badger just don't care. So hey, Bo Nix could have a tough game in that one. Their secondary is probably between their pass rush and their secondary. That could be a brutal game for Bo Nix. It really could be. But we all know what your team needs to do. It needs to learn how to run, and the Saints do know how to do that. So
your
defense
got
can
one of the
stop
best
that.
running back in the NFL.
Yeah,
right now.
To me, I mean, everybody would probably say King Henry's number one, but number two,
Alvin Kamara. Yeah,
it's hard pressed to find a better one than Kamara. Kamara is, I mean, the two guys they got in Detroit, Montgomery and Gibbs, they're both really good. But one of them's tough and one of them's fast. You get both with Kamara, man. That guy can take people on, and he can break away from you really quick. So yeah.
I don't know if Hunt keeps playing like he played last week. There may be another name in that conversation.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Kareem Hunt's been playing good off the couch.
Played like he's 21 again.
Right? That ain't gonna last all season.
No,
that, bro.
No. But
on a team like the Kansas City Chiefs, who spread the ball around like it's nobody's business, he could keep his legs fresh for a long time.
Yeah.
He can. Yep. All right. Yeah, that's a good one to look at, Knock. Your initial thoughts about your Broncos
crazy
going in there?
No, I was just going to say real quick about Kareem Hunt. It's crazy how you could just be so forgetful how they abandoned him for his troubles. But, hey, when you're winning Super Bowls, I guess.
When you got that ring dangling, hey, what's up?
Trump everything, I guess. You just play for the ring. It's a team that just wrote him off. Dumped them like firewood.
I do want to say this about the Honey Badger.
Go.
Ty Matthews will probably, after his career, join Andy Reid's coaching staff.
I wouldn't be surprised, and I was kind of shocked that he didn't retire a Chief. Because and don't get me wrong, the fact that he came back to Louisiana wasn't shocking to me either. If he was going to go somewhere else, the Saints is a perfect place for him.
He wants to retire at home. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he's from here, and he wants to retire at home. But yeah, if the money had been right and everything, I could have seen him. Yeah, winning a few rings with you guys for sure. But, absolutely.
But I know that Andy really loves him, and he has stated that he would love to have him on.
And boys and girls, lest you forget, the whole reason why we get to love the Honey Badger and everything he did for all of these teams is because of Patrick Peterson in Arizona. Because the book on him is he was a troublemaker. He was going to get in trouble with the law. He liked his substances and all that stuff. He was a problem child. And Patrick Peterson told the execs in Arizona, don't worry about it. Get him here. I'll take care of it. And we got the guy we got today, who is actually arguably one of the highest character dudes in the NFL. Yeah. He has totally turned it over. And it's a great story. If you guys don't know about the Honey Badger, go research him, man. He's something else. That guy
Even though we lost him, I have nothing but mad respect.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. He's a great player. He's to me, he's the modern day Troy Polamalu. He gambles a lot, but when he wins big. And he's a special
He doesn't have Polamalu's hair. Yeah.
No, he didn't have that. No. But anyway, guys, all right. Anything you want to push besides what I'm going to do here, man?
Nope.
Okay. All right, boys and girls, you're watching Pregame Party. We do this every Sunday morning at 10 a.m., 2 hours before game time. You guys come check us out every Sunday. And then tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Central Time, same time as today, I'll be over in Pop Culture Minefields channel for Military Monday. We're doing a little Halloween version of Military Monday with The Keep. You guys come check that out at 10 a.m. Central Time on Pop Culture Minefields channel. It's Only Talk and Roll comes your way at 4 p.m. Central Time on Mondays. I don't think we're having a show tomorrow, but I'll have to check the thread. I did see Brian streaming last night on Bourbon and Boarding with Brahma Bull, but I don't know if he's going to have a show this Monday or not. We'll see. But if there is one, it'll be on That 70s Rock Fans channel at 4 p.m. Central Time. So come check us out. And at 5 p.m. Central Time, it's the Brothers Hack the Matrix. New day, same time, same clown show. You guys come check it out. We'll tell you what's going on with the 2024 clown show through the week's headlines. Brothers Hack the Matrix every Monday at 5 p.m. Central Time going forward. And then Tuesday at 10 p.m. Central Time, it's Papa Joe Gamer After Dark, video games, cocktails, and fails. And this week, I'm going to play a little Beyond Two Souls. I want to mix it up. I don't want to play the same game every week. I'm going to continue my playthrough of Brutal Legend, but I want to switch it up. So I haven't played any Beyond Two Souls in a while, so I'm going to play that one for you this Tuesday at 10 p.m. Central Time. So come check it out. And then Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Central Time, it's State of the Atmosphere. We're going to, excuse me. Damn, I got a frog in my throat. We're going to start our Halloween celebration this week. We're going to start a 100 top horror movies of all time countdown. Maybe give Knock some knock list material to watch for Halloween. We're going to do that over the next couple of weeks. So look forward to that on State of the Atmosphere, our pop culture show with the Sweeney Spot, box office receipts, and I will have a review of Saturday Night for you. So you guys look forward to that. Knock, did you want me to share that or?
Absolutely. I just saw this
on
NFL memes, and this happened today, apparently. This is, of
on,
course,
buddy.
you know the guy that we talked about just a little bit ago that John had mentioned.
Yes.
Jason Kelsey chugging a beer, and just check out what happens. This is hilarious.
Okay.
Maybe.
We'll check it out.
Come on.
It'll do.
Really? All I did was pause it. It's 10 seconds. Jesus Christ, man.
Refresh the page. It'll be fine.
That's insane.
Believe it or not, Jason Kelsey's my favorite Kelsey brother.
Yeah, we got to go from somewhere, but it'll be all right. This is tailgating the Eagles. Oh no! Way to go! The cameraman's drinking more than Kelsey.
While trying to record Jason Kelsey chugging a beer during Eagles tailgate. I just saw that. I was like, that's a great way to end the show. Is
hell yeah,
a cameraman breaking his camera because Jason, of course, Kelsey is chugging a beer.
That's awesome. All right. Yeah, check out State of the Atmosphere on Wednesday. And then Friday, it's Sketching the Privateer, the story of America's Pirate Patriot, my comic book show where I work on my comic book. You guys check that out. And then Friday at 8 p.m. Central Time.
Not this week.
You're not going to have it this week?
No show this week because I am going to go see Stryper.
Going to see Stryper. My man is going to see every old rock band there is in existence. He saw Judas Priest last week, and now he's going to see Stryper. What a deal. God, that's an 80s reference. Good Lord.
Yep.
I can't believe they're still playing.
Yep, it's their 40th anniversary.
Damn, sure. Sam, that's crazy, man. Damn, we're getting old. Shit. It's crazy. But anyway, normally, Game Night with John is on Pop Culture Minefield channel at 8 p.m. Central Time on Friday. So in a week, go check it out as he finishes up the Walking Dead Telltale series. That's 8 p.m. Central Time on Pop Culture Minefield channel. And then 9 p.m. Central Time on Jed Revenwolf's channel, it's MFR Roadhouse. Just a bunch of guys getting together and having a few beers and talking shit. So you guys come check all those shows out. Follow all of us across all the platforms. Go to joesatmosphere.com. Check everything out. And check out all the channels. Follow, subscribe, all that good stuff that all of us YouTubers ask you to do because we wouldn't be anything without you. And you help us, we help you. So you guys, thanks for being here. And until we see you again, I want you guys to keep on keeping on. God bless.